Okay, I realize.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. You're watching A New Way of Being, hosted by Avataka Lecture and Andragon on YouTube Live. Now, I am disappointed in what I'm seeing of my brothers and sisters of all nationalities. I'm disappointed that as human beings, you're still prejudiced against each other. And I don't mean African people are prejudiced against Caucasian people, even though possibly some people might be. But I'm seeing a lot of Caucasian European men and some women prejudice is showing. This is not a good situation. Remember, we are human beings in this world. All of us are a part of each other. We are children of gods.
Yes.
And it's important that when we make decisions, that we are making decisions that is beneficial to the rights and the care and feelings of others. When we disrespect them and when we treat one set as if they're less than the other set, the one that is treating the others that are less than they are the ones who are really having the problems because they don't know what right and wrong is. They don't know how wrong about that they are in how they're treating human beings, people of other nationalities. It's time for you to wake up to the reality that if you really want to succeed in a society, you have to learn to connect properly. You need to work together as a family so that you do not have all kinds of bad behavior taking place, undermining each other and thinking you're superior. Because if you really were superior, you will realize that all beings certainly are. They have a right to be treated with respect and dignity. When you rob them of those rights, you set up a whole society to go down in quality and behave irresponsibly. You're my family. And you know something? I'm a God. And I'm here to bring you all together to let you know that your ignorance that is showing when you think you're superior to another because they're a different color, you're desperately wrong. If you had the kind of development that you needed to get as children growing up, you wouldn't be thinking that way because people would not be behaving this way in the first place. Is when we are not trained well enough to recognize the rights of ourselves and others, and we recognize that we are equals forever, you won't think that you're superior to any other. You'll realize that they're your family. And the only way that we can work together is by treating each other responsibly. Look at what was done to my teeth because of Donald Trump doing this damage to me. Out of prejudice, out of jealousies, out of ignorance, raping my daughter, doing damage to our family, trying to set one up against each other, thinking that they're superior, so they can use people in this way to turn them against their own families. But when someone can do this, they're practicing evil. When you realize that you're all a family, you will notice that this kind of stuff wouldn't be happening. Look at it. Took my teeth from the back, put it in the front, push it out, take the top teeth, push it out, taking out a tooth from here, leave a big hole. The idea is to degrade and humiliate people of color. You know, if they knew the depths of the rights of all beings, they would not do what they are. Lack of training by parents, lack of training by the public, the right kind of training is what helps people to be responsive in a way in which does not undermine anyone. And as a matter of fact, are living as brothers and sisters of the cloth.
Proper training, you mean?
Yes, of course. Proper training. What did I say?
Lack of training. Lack of.
Yes. But if you, what I was saying was just in flow with what I was saying, speaking about before.
Yes.
But if I am saying that, in order for me to recognize that it's possible that I made an error, please excuse me.
It's okay.
I'm not here to create a problem. I'm here to stop problems that are being created by the society because of colors. I'm seeing too much prejudice. I'm disappointed in the people that we have to depend on to give us injections because they are just as prejudiced as many others, or else the people would not be trained to become and behave with disrespect humiliation, and all these other things that undermine even my mouth. Look at, you can see the tooth peeking through right to the side here. And that here has a big hole. That's what Donald J. Trump came here to do to me and terrorize me on an everyday basis, 24/7, for years,
Yes.
from the United States to Canada. And I have been going through this hell, and I could not even get to a lawyer. I cannot get to the courts. I cannot get any kind of help. So my tyranny continues to go through and destroy me and my family. My husband went through hell too. Our daughter went through hell also. We are not hell evil people. We haven't harmed anyone. We haven't even mistreated anyone. But we are being mistreated. We are being persecuted, starting from the government down. And not all governments. We are now in Canada. In Canada, I am seeing better treatment. I'm seeing people behaving much better, even though some really bad things happened to our daughter that should not have happened.
To you?
To me too.
For decades.
Yep. Look, you can see it in my teeth. This is what they gave me. They set up to make sure that I look as ugly as possible. And if I can show you a picture of myself, you will see what I'm speaking of, that I went from bad treatment by the systems that cannot speak and treat people with respect, failing to realize who I am. They set me up to be attacked and abused. This is what I became. And this is the picture of me.
Yeah.
This is my face.
Yeah, it's online.
And these are gongs that I created. Do you know what they did? They stole my gongs and sold them out to people. Donald Trump and Nancy Pelosi. They also spent their times setting up people to terrorize us in the streets, me in the United States, and then in Canada. These are the things that a lot of people of color are going through, ladies and gentlemen. See these lines? These were put into my face to age me. Many other things took off the majority of my eyesight. I could hardly see properly. Attacking different parts of my body, in the womb, in the rectum. Mr. Donald J. Trump is doing that at different times. Even while I was here, he's doing it at times.
Yeah.
This is the kind of stuff that we have to go through. This Donald J. Trump raped my daughter. He didn't care about our rights. He set up people to violate and persecute us wherever we go, whenever he was around. This is an evil man. He does not know how to treat people properly with respect and dignity. He only knows to take advantage, stole all my gongs. Each of them were about 500 because they were well made.
Custom made.
They were designed by me. They were made from scratch by me. I bought the material. Bought different things to put on them, on different gongs. They stole 4 of them. And then recently I bought some other material and created some new gongs. Well, those are the gongs that I was speaking to you about. But the other gongs that I'm showing you here, where is it? The picture of it.
Oh. You created about a dozen gongs.
Yeah.
At Scott Street, where you live.
Sure. This is one of the gongs that I created.
Yeah. It's a spiritual.
In different colors. This is a
spiritual wardrobe.
Yes, a spiritual wardrobe.
Garments, yeah.
What I made for myself so that I can go and speak to the people, let them know that they are loved, that they're cared for, that no one is here to harm them if they're trained to behave responsibly. And when people, even if they weren't trained and they were being trained by the public and how they're being treated responsibly, they would not be behaving the way in which they are. People need to recognize that because other people are telling you to hate another for whatever reason does not mean that it's okay to do damage to them, steal from them, steal their shoes, their clothes, steal half of their eyesight or 3/4 of it. I have
Attacking
problems seeing, attacking me from
the
the
joints.
head to the toe. Using a technology Nancy Pelosi gave Trump, and he has been using that technology to move every bone in my body. I went through this for quite a few months, and then he came back and started doing it over and over again.
Yes. Loosening the skin.
Loosening my skin, cutting off my hair. I had hair long past my waist, close to or past my waist, and they cut my hair off. My daughter also. Her hair was long, very much so too. They cut off her hair. Her hair is now growing a little bit, and he's chopping different parts of her hair so that when she gets up, the hair in the front is sticking out. Ladies and gentlemen, this should not be taking place. This is what prejudice creates: evil. It does damage to human beings that really are good people, and they are not being treated in a manner in which will help to serve the entire public of great quality by each other and how we're treating each other. This is what it creates when we do damage to other people, when people are doing damage to us. I'm sorry, hon.
No, I'm just adjusting my legs. No worries.
We have been put through so much hell that I developed an anger that you won't believe.
From pain.
From that kind of pain, yes, from that type of torture.
Yes, terrorization, torment, torture.
We love you all. You're our family.
Yes.
We are very disappointed to see that people that are supposed to be so highly trained in the systems, in the school systems too, and instead of they're showing that training, they're showing what kind of bad people many of them are. I'm seeing people wrestling today, and how I saw a gentleman was treated because he was shorter and he had a crown and he was the king. They mistreated the man.
King Woods. WWE wrestling.
Yes.
We watch.
And this is just unfair, ladies and gentlemen. How are we expected to grow in high qualities when we are treating people with the worst kind of treatment so that they can be angry, humiliated, going and looking for confusion because of the confusion that is being done to them? Not everyone does that, but some people do because they're so hurt. This is not the way people are supposed to be treated. Look at what was done to my mouth because of the fact that I look too classy. I created my clothing and I wore them with dignity.
Yes. Style.
Yes.
Grace.
Never went sleazy.
No.
Until, of course, they stole all my clothing and my shoes, and then I had to wear whatever there was.
Well, wasn't
and
sleazy.
Even those weren't sleazy, yeah.
No.
But they sort of hit the top for me. I prefer to wear clothing that makes me look good and fits me properly. You know, I even was making some things for my husband, but couldn't go through with it because they blocked me from being able to sew anything. That's what Donald J. Trump did. I'm using my machine to do my stuff in the place that I'm paying rent for, and he is attacking me and blocking me from being able to do my own work. Yeah. This man has been doing this to me for some time. He's the same one who cut off all my hair.
Rubbed you off.
I have no hair to the sides, and the hair that they have here, he has here, he trimmed it down to the point where it's thin.
Yes.
I had a full body of hair.
Full, long, bouncing.
Yes. And so did my daughter. And she still has some of it, but not all of it.
Yes.
Why prejudice is so ignorant that it's destroying the lives of other people? Because many of you fail to realize that when you're persecuting others, you're also setting up a society to persecute each other. And it's not your right. You're too prejudiced and jealous. When you're that jealous, you're not really getting anywhere. When you show your quality, when you treat people with dignity, even if you weren't treated properly, what you're doing is you're giving them back their lives.
Yes.
By making sure that they know that they're loved. And in that situation, they will turn and help other people too. That's what we all are about. Even though you were harming me and my family did not do that. We saw to it that we treated you all properly until I could take no more. I don't mistreat people all the time, but when you come with your bad behavior and you're mistreating me and mistreating my family, I'm not going to sit back and say it's okay. It's not okay. This is not how people are supposed to live. And if someone looks good and you feel that you don't, does not mean that you should cut that person down for looking good. Try being caring. Try being respectful and do the right thing each time. You will see the kind of beings that we are setting up in the society. People who care about each other rather than are in despair because of how they're being treated by others. We weren't born to behave in such a manner. We were trained to behave that way.
Yes.
School systems are doing damage to children, and the children are becoming angry. I mean, certain children especially. You're African, you've got a problem. No, you don't. They're making that problem, creating that problem for you because you are of a different nationality. How prejudiced can people be? Does that make sense, ladies and gentlemen? Why are you allowing behaviors that is undermining your whole society to destroy and distort everybody's rights to feel free and treat each other properly? You're capable of it. It used to be done in the past. It suddenly stopped. The system started turning people into all kinds of people. That is not their original form. Give them back their lives. Stop terrorizing them. And the wrestling that I saw today, I'm disappointed. A gentleman who called himself a king had on the crown. It looks beautiful too. And he was a respectful gentleman.
Yes.
And Roman Reigns and his buddies and his family, he had them playing all kinds of bad games, robbing people of their rights to be able to do a skillful job of fighting. More or less, it's supposed to be skillful, but it was not skill.
Rough and tough.
Yes, abuse, taking advantage, doing damage, treating people because they're not your complexion or not your color. You're less than. That's not fair. Whether they are a color or don't have a color does not mean that that's the way they are. Try treating them properly. They will show you their best selves. But when you persecute them and rob them of their dignity and their rights to feel free, to know everybody, to love their brothers and sisters without doing creating problems for them or turning them into terroristic people, you need to cut that out. People are not born to be evil. They were being trained to be evil by those who are ignorant up here, not intelligent enough to realize it doesn't matter what you look like. It's how you're treating people that is creating the problems. Lift them up. Treat them with dignity. Stop thinking you're superior to them because you're a different nationality or you're taller or you're better looking or whatever. The ugliness came from terrorization. When you do that to people, it happens after a period of time, and then the same people who are doing it to you are going to find themselves in even worse positions. Look at what was done to me, ladies and gentlemen. This is done out of people like Roman Reigns and others like them who think that they have a right to terrorize and persecute. He didn't do that to me, I have to admit, but this is what is being done to people.
Yes.
Come on, ladies and gentlemen. All of us are a family. I'm an avatar. I'm not here to fight and kill. I'm here to show you that you have greatness inside you. Everyone does. Look for the qualities in everyone and treat them properly. You will see what I'm talking about. It's only when you set them up to have all these wars with different people because of a color that you will find this kind of behavior coming out. I have become angry because of it. I don't want to go anywhere because of it. I need my own home to look after my own family, and they're blocking me from that, and they're robbing me of money that they owe me. The United States government, Nancy Pelosi, who killed out my family right in front of me.
Donald J. Trump was given the...
Donald J. Trump and someone else, they used to kill out my family. I can't tell you to someone else because he's a nice human being, and he should not have done what he did, and he recognizes this. But It wasn't fair that they were using these people to do this damage and turning them against people for color. And because of it, we have a warped society. If you took the time to listen to what I'm telling you and start treating everyone with respect and dignity, you won't find the best treatment right away. They won't be able to handle it because they're not used to it. They're being mistreated for so long. But if you start treating them properly and they see that you're genuine, their behavior will change right back to the right behavior. Please start doing the things that you know that benefits all. They are your family. When you think that you're superior and you're better than they are, it means that you're undermining your own intelligence and behaving irresponsibly because you refuse to recognize the rights of everybody. Think about it. And please do the right thing. Start practicing the dance. Treat them with dignity. See what he did to my mouth? I could hardly speak properly. I had all my teeth, no problems. This man went into my mouth with a technology that Nancy Pelosi gave him to attack and abuse my mouth, abuse my head, abuse my body.
The cavities of your brain.
Yes.
Rob you of your memory.
Yeah, terrorizing me in the bathroom. Going to take a shower is like going to hell. Coming there so he can use his irresponsible behavior to gawk over my body.
Or to try to violate you.
Or try to violate, quite true. These are the things that some people are going through, ladies and gentlemen. Many people are going through. Please, this has got to stop. People have a right to the freedoms to be fair and to be truthful, to be caring and responsible and respectful. That's the only way we will be able to show our better, greater selves. But to torment and torture and persecute and think you're superior makes you look like the one in hell that is giving other people the hell to live with. Cut it out, ladies and gentlemen. All beings are beautiful. They were created by gods. I'm one of them. Stop terrorizing our family, because you will be left out. No one is going to want you around anymore. We are not going to settle for the verbal abuse, the terrorization, the killings, the ignorance in the behavior towards anyone. We want this kind of insanity stopped. All beings have a right to be living freely and responsibly. What you are doing is creating the problems for all beings. Stop it, please. Give them back their rights. Don't violate and degrade them. They're children of gods. Respect them. They are our children. Don't terrorize. And treat your children to care about everyone, whether they look good or not, because they will only become bad when you terrorize them like you have been doing for decades now, lifetimes. Stop it. I love you all, and I want to see you all connect properly. That's my job in this society. Not about you trying to force other people in jobs, and they're there most of the times, and their children aren't being trained. Their children are set up like criminals. Their children are being tortured and tormented by other people, even sometimes school teachers and other teachers of different kinds. Everyone is capable of great behavior. Please don't terrorize them to become that way ever again. I would advise that you stop it immediately, because the gods will no longer tolerate this anymore. I'm just one god here.
Who is also the chief god.
Yeah, but also there are others who will come in right away. If this is the kind of stuff that you all are going to practice, you're going to get yourselves beaten. We are not plotting on beating anyone. We want you to stop beating up on other people. We want you to treat them properly. And that's what our life is about. Being there for others and allowing them the right to be there for themselves, and you if you need help at times too. And the babies need our help. They need us more than anybody else. They need people with great love and respect for all forms of life. We believe in people because we gave them their lives. Even that Donald Trump up there, he doesn't realize that. You're not given lives by people who look like you alone. You're given lives by those who are here to show you how to live. And you could only do that by respect for all others. Respect yourself and respect the people that you come in contact with. Unless, of course, they've been done in so badly that they won't show their quality. But if we treat them nicely on a daily basis, every day, many people are doing this, they will change right back to their quality. That's how great they are. Give them the right to know that everybody cares about them. I promise you, you will be happy for the rest of your lives. And you won't have death coming about anymore. You'll be able to live as long as you want to. And also help others in the process, and they will be helping you in between too. And the guy?
Yes.
My husband has some things to say too.
Oh.
And I would allow him now to speak. Thank you very much for allowing me.
Alberta Galectra. Thank you, Alberta. Alberta Galectra, the person who spoke to you, is the human incarnation of the great goddess, the one who brought existence into being and beings into existence by dreaming herself into existence, dreaming existence into being, and dreaming beings into existence. And she performed this incomprehensible, indescribable feat thousands of trillions of years ago. Over the last 5,000 years or so, the great goddess has lived amongst you as Lord Jesus about 2,000 years ago, as Lord Buddha about 2,500 years ago, as Lord Krishna about 5,200 years ago. So the person speaking to you is someone who brings a wealth of timeless truths, ancient knowledge, and deep wisdom to you that she has experienced for thousands of trillions of years. You're each an immortal daughter and son of gods, and you're here to learn how to practice the qualities that you have inside you, master them, the virtues. You're here to learn to practice all your virtues and to live them in your lives in exemplary ways. And you have been doing this, do this over and over, lifetime after lifetime, wearing, as the Avatar says, mortal clothes of flesh and bones that you put on of birth to walk the face of the earth, one life at a time. I'm her husband, who lived as Albert Einstein about 65 years ago. Why, you ask, would Lord Jesus and Albert Einstein come to live amongst you as a couple? Well, because one is considered one of the greatest spiritual teachers and masters and healers ever, and the other is considered to be one of science's greatest visionaries and achievers. We're here to work together to show you how to connect with the body of information that you have been embedded with by the great goddess, that teaches you that you are first immortal beings living mortal lives, one life at a time, that you have a vast wealth of spiritual treasures embedded inside you that you have to start to identify, access, develop, master, and express in your lives as mortal beings, including, and also to alert you that you have a vast wealth of DNA abilities, 98% of which science calls junk DNA, including the dozens of pairs of strands of DNA that you each have access to, locked up inside you, that they have dismissed, your scientists, as junk DNA. We're also here to let you know that there is that technology on this planet today that has vast fourth dimension capabilities that is being used by the American government to commit federal crimes against human beings by giving a squadron of their agents um, this technology, futuristic technology, to create cloaks of invisibility that allows them to move through the fourth dimension looking like shadows and infecting the bodies of human beings by poisoning the mucus inside our bodies, and so far infecting about 250 million human beings using this technology and killing about 5 million or so members of the human race as of November the whatever the date is, 18th or 19th or 20th or around there. So science does not understand what's going on this planet because science has been misinformed by their confirmation bias that they hold, which teaches them that they have a monopoly on the truth, on facts, and in determining all the questions about what is real or unreal in your physical world. Scientists do not have a monopoly on the truth or on facts, and the confirmation bias has blinded them, preventing them from being able to look and think outside the box using the four hemispheres inside their minds to look at another information about what's going on, to look at the information that we're telling you that there are people who are creating this pandemic from inside the fourth dimension wearing cloaks of invisibility. Science and people in this world cannot see these people. Some people can sense them. Beings like animal beings and plant beings can see these criminals looking like shadows inside the fourth dimension. But human beings in general, those abilities to see beyond the world they live in has been blocked and hidden from them by those who have robbed them of the abilities to connect with the vast levels and layers of abilities that they each own and have a right to access and express in their lives. So we're a couple who are sounding the alarm about what's being done to you, the people, using the same technology that is being used to terrorize Avatar Electra and her family for decades now. It's been used to try to kill her at birth, to try to kill our daughter at birth, to kill 5 members of her family, mother, father, sister, brother, and another relative, to try to take my mortal life from me. And it's been used today to continue to sustain this pandemic, which will not end because it is not a virus that is infecting your bodies and killing many of you. It is a disease that is manufactured, created with this futuristic technology that was stolen from 2 men of science from the Avatar's birth country, Trinidad and Tobago, sometime after World War II, that they were given by some of her brother gods to keep Lady Gaia, the Earth goddess, her ancient living planet-sized body, from dying. They use it to keep her from dying by restoring her back to the frequency she has been breathing or vibrating at for trillions of years. But after completing this remarkable feat, as two of humankind's greatest heroes, they had their mortal life stolen from them, and this technology was taken from them by these agents of the American government, stealing technology, and has been using it as a weapon to commit federal crimes against the Avatar family and now against the human race for the last 2 months under this pandemic, which they have created and which scientists do not understand, have misidentified the actual disease, mischaracterized its features, and now continue to create all kinds of vaccines to try to contain and control this pandemic, which is being sustained by these criminals working for the American military using this technology. So we want you, the people, to know that what's going on is not what you've been told. You're being misinformed unintentionally and unknowingly by your scientists and those in the health. And in fact, that is not what's taking place. So we are continuing to try to alert our immortal sisters and brothers to ask them to help us to take this